standard form.
You would think.
I'm just saying.
Not great. It's not great. Joel Klatt.
Joel Klatt, voice of Fox College Football. Joel Klatt's here to talk to us. And finally, what's the best segment in all of sports? A fresh edition of Tears.
Kind of sad too.
Again,
you know,
this is
Chiefs,
just
honestly,
as much as I hate seeing the Chiefs and Mahomes on top
our whole
every time,
show peaked.
it's just like
I think we're done.
I
on the back nine of
the
show.
Chiefs are not always on top of the tiers, as you know, but this might be the furthest the committee has ever had them down the tiers.
Probably.
I think that's. I'd have to check the archives.
Yeah.
That's Cromwell's job.
Since that
Cromwell?
He goes by his last name, but he's the committee archivist.
Cromwell.
Cromwell?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
George.
Oh. Oh, George. Oh.
Yeah, you've met him.
Oh, GC.
Yeah,
yeah. We're starting with Tush pushed me too far. Criticism of the Tush Push reached a fever pitch after the Eagles ran it for 11% of their offensive plays, while some replays uncovered a variety of violations. The Eagles' Jordan Mailata has been pushed over the edge. Take a listen.
I understand it. I understand the outrage. What I don't understand is them using it as an excuse to why we won the game.
Right.
I think it's incredibly disrespectful to our defense and our special teams who balled out. That kind of irks me a little bit. That pisses me off because we give so much to this game, and to kind of base off a short yardage play that is a football play, and say that we won the game off that. I just think it's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish, man. It makes my blood boil just thinking about it.
Started to get angrier as the interview went on. Your reaction to Jordan
All right, so a
Mailata.
few things. One is I really like Jordan Mailata. I think he's one of the coolest stories of any player in the NFL on his path. I also think he is reacting not to anything the Chiefs said, not even, I would hope, to anything I said, and if it was, I'll clarify it. I think he's actually reacting to Schefter, because Schefter had the comment Monday morning, the Chiefs didn't lose this game Sunday. They lost it back in March when this rule, well, you know what I mean, when this play was allowed to stay in. So listen, I can't speak for, and I think Adam was trying to be colorful with his, his storytelling. I want to be clear about my take on it. This is not why Kansas City lost. Kansas City lost because at this moment, Philly is better, and in that game, Kansas City made the only catastrophic error. That is why the Chiefs lost that game, okay? And I think the Chiefs would tell you that. Like
yeah, I didn't hear much.
No, I really no. It was. I mean, Chris Jones talked about and was asked about what he was mad about in the false start, but I haven't heard any Chiefs say we lost because of this, and so I want to make that clear.
I agree with that.
With that said, it is not accurate for anyone to pretend like the Eagles getting away with neutral zone infractions and false starts is new. And to demonstrate that, I would like to play you two clips. One is from Jason Kelce 2 years ago saying, well, I'll let you hear what Jason says about what the refs said to his team and a nice explainer on what the neutral zone is. Here's Jason Kelce 2 years ago talking about the Tush Push.
But they did send a warning that Landon has been in the neutral zone and that is against, like, the only player allowed in the neutral zone is a center. The ball is a neutral zone. No offensive player or defensive player can break the plane of either side of the ball. All the offensive players have to be behind the ball other than the center, who is obviously holding the ball. And all of the defensive players have to be on the other side of the ball. Landon has been lining up in the neutral zone. So they warned us before the game.
Okay, that's 2 years ago that the refs were on alert about it. Here is a game I know Brew remembers. Ravens-Eagles last year on a tush-push touchdown. Tony Romo on the replay of the touchdown.
Actually, that's a false start, technically.
Boy, look at that. On the ground. He picked it up, recovered, and got across. Just needed inches.
It's a false start. That should be called a false start. Everyone moved before the ball was snapped.
But no flag exists.
So that's the frustration. The frustration is, it is not something that just happened this weekend. It has been, if you really watch the league closely, and I know all of us watch it closely, also have always hated the tush push, you've noticed this for years. The Eagles have talked about it, Romo's mentioned it. So I think the problem is, the play was already controversial enough it was voted on twice. And there is years of evidence that they have been getting away with. The refs have been allowing them to either line up incorrectly or false start, and there's been no penalty.
Are you saying that that always happens, or are you saying that this is two examples of it happening? It happens often.
I'm saying
or
it
these are two
happens
random
all the
examples?
time.
What does all the time mean?
I think
Like
that
most
more
of the time
often
they
than
run.
not, when a tush push is ran, either a player is lined up where they aren't supposed to be, and or they false start. I think very, very rarely upon replay would you say that was a clean play. And I think that it has gotten worse over the years because they never get flagged for it. That's my take.
Here's how I feel about it. I'm starting to feel about this like I felt a few weeks ago, really maybe 1 week ago, about the Micah ruins your defense because he can't
interesting
stop
take.
the run stuff. Because you and I talked about, we never heard stuff about Micah being problematic with the run until he was traded. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at this
Micah
stat I've been
can't
sitting
read.
on.
Well, that's the thing too.
Yeah.
So you brought up the videos. Okay, there's a little chitter chatter there. But when they talked about Micah, people brought up stats.
Yes.
That proved, you see, the run gets better when Micah's not on the field and all that stuff. To me, it's still, I don't really want to hear it because if the refs let them get away with it, that's on the refs.
Agreed.
Every team and virtually every player tries to get away with what they can.
Totally.
I'm not even criticizing Mahomes, but we've seen him do the fake slide here or there or the fake running out of bounds and get a couple extra yards. Like, if the refs are going to let you get away with it in all of the sports, the players try to get away with it. So I hear you. I mean, it was clearly false starts on Sunday. And I just wish that the refs would call stuff. If it dates back 4 years, so be it.
Yep.
But the refs haven't been called. I'm just not one with they've been cheating for 3-4 years, and that's why they're so good at it.
I do not consider that cheating. And I think I didn't call it cheating on the
No,
show.
you didn't
But
say
I might have said it on the
You didn't use
podcast,
that word,
Joe.
but-
But I might have used that word on Tuesday.
I don't know what else to say. What
No,
other
it
words
is,
to
to
use,
me,
but-
it is not them lining up where they line up or false starting is in the exact same bucket as the Legion of Boom illegal contacting every play and being like, you know what, we call it if you want, we're gonna get advantage of it. So that is not cheating at all. That it's not even really gamesmanship. It's just doing what you can get away with. I'm fine with it. My point all week has been, I'm not a man on an island in thinking we wish this play didn't exist. Now you can call it sour.
I think most people. Most people feel like it needs to go.
On that island with me certainly is the commissioner of the league and 22 other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And now some of them might be because they're competing with the Eagles, but there are some bad AFC teams that voted against it as well. That's not because they're
It will be interesting if it comes around, and I always say it, that the Lions were the only team that are playing the Eagles this year that voted to keep the tush push.
Yeah.
It will be interesting, not to derail your point,
no, you're
if
fine.
they vote on it again, where it's like, oh, we're not playing the Eagles and my opponent is playing the Eagles, I'm actually going to change my vote.
Sure.
I wonder how much gamesmanship was in the vote where it's not just a pure, this is wrong for the game.
But the point, that's totally fair. The point that I'm making is, when it's already a borderline, I think that's fair to say, and certainly controversial play, I would expect the refs to make sure they adjudicate it fairly.
So how come this hasn't been happening? We hear all the time, oh, you know what they're saying in the press conference? This is actually not only to the media, but it's also to the refs. It's also to the league office. Oh, there's going to be tape of that. They're going to send it. It's going to be a point of emphasis for the refs. This play's been going on forever.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like you said, it pops up like, I think false.
Like
We're
Jason
talking on the shows.
Kelce, he said the league reached out to the
league
Eagles.
reached out to them 2 years
Were
ago.
teams reaching out to the league?
Honestly,
we haven't heard a lot of
I mean,
complaining from teams.
I mean, I think it hasn't been in the media because the media bucket of complaining about a team getting an unfair advantage has been so full the last couple years with Chiefs talk that there's just hasn't been room for it.
There's an element of that,
It would have
too.
run counter to the narrative of the everything's rigged for the Chiefs to be like, hey, Deion Dawkins also jumps early, you know what I mean, like Jawan Taylor does, and the Eagles are lined up off sides. That wouldn't fit, and so the reason I have seized on it is because I have felt this way, and it's documented on this show and others, about this for years. And once Brady pointed it out, and then Dean Blandino in a moment that, and I know Dean, I should just ask him. I wonder if he almost wishes he hadn't said, but like a moment of palpable disgust says, I'm done with this play. It feels like an opportunity to just shine a light on it.
But this is the first time I've heard you talk about the false starts, though.
Oh, real? Oh,
No, we talked.
No.
We
haven't heard that. I
we
don't-
kicked it
I don't
around.
remember hearing that.
The question I have, Brew, to your point, if Kelsey catches the ball, are we doing tush push stuff? If Kelsey catches the ball and the
If the
Chiefs win
Chiefs
that
win,
game,
no.
you're like, you know what? Also, just before we move on with the Chiefs being 1-1 and back in business, I want to talk about the false starts.
Maybe not.
So there's an element of that where it's like whining in sports. All the refs were for the Chiefs and all the memes, and it got outrageous, and it's still kind of happening now with this Giants game coming up. And of course, the Patriots were accused of doing
The
all
Patriots were
sorts of
found
stuff,
guilty a couple times.
but not of everything.
No, not of everything.
Not of interfering with the comms.
Yeah, correct.
Several things, but just because you did 3 guilty things doesn't mean the 4th was automatic.
Totally right. That's right.
And now it's the Eagles' turn, kind of on the chopping block. Like, you know what? You are good, but you're also you're right there on the edge of it.
But that's why it's going to get banned, is because it's hard to ref. That's
I buy that.
I think
that's a savvy
I think
strategy.
the fact that they've been running it more, like they ran it 6 times. If they run, you've always brought up, what if they run down the field like that? And it's been like, there's no way they're doing it.
Yeah,
No, but the more they do it, it does
Correct.
bother you. Like even me, who had no problem with it, but when you start doing it on every 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 and then 4th,
Yes.
like it gets to the point, okay, enough already.
How much do you think it's going to happen this week?
Oh, they're this season.
Who do
They
play
probably
this week?
will
I
use it
apologize
a
for
lot.
not knowing.
They play. I don't know.
They play
Someone will tell us in our ear. I forgot who they played this week. My guess is they're going to try not to do it this week.
Rams.
Oh, they
Oh, yeah,
play the
Rams.
Rams. They
They're
might
gonna
need
use
to.
it against the Rams.
Yeah. That's right. That's
They're
maybe
definitely
the biggest
gonna
game of
do
the
it.
weekend.
I hope
No,
they
if they were playing if it was a game that they expected to dominate, I would think they would want the air to cool a bit on the plate. But in a game that they're going to need.
They might need it.
It's also a sign of like they don't care. I think it is interesting. Like, you know what, we are.
No,
we
they
don't care.
we don't know. KW, my point is this: you can say they don't care. They certainly would have cared if up 3 with 8 minutes left in that Chiefs game, they had called false start there.
Oh yeah.
And they're now all of a sudden at 4th
what
and
they
goal
should
from the
be is-
6, and they have to kick a field goal. They would have cared.
Just go for it.
Right, but they wouldn't from the 6.
They should be practicing it without the false starts.
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
That's what they should be doing.
Meanwhile, Chiefs are looking for their first win when they take on Russ and the sneaky hot offense of the New York Giants. Patrick Mahomes met with the media today, and here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
I think obviously just being 0-2, there's more urgency than even last week. I mean, and I felt like we were very urgent last week. So definitely new territory as far as being 0-2, but knowing that we got the guys for it. You know, we have the mindset of going out there and being even better. And so in my eyes, it looks like what an opportunity to prove who